right, y'all ready? Hey, I'm going. Hey, we were kidding, but we may have had a problem.
Yeah. I wasn't kidding.
I know. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, will the meeting come to order, please? Everyone, please take their seats. And we have a quorum. We get started. Would you do a prayer? What's your number? 20. I'd like to ask Representative Maxwell, if he would, to open with prayer, please.
Let's pray. Lord, we do thank you again for this day. Thank you for the breath of life you just gave us this morning. Lord, we ask you to bless our deliberations today. Give us wisdom, understanding all that we do. Go with us now in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, this is a busy bill, and we need to hear it, and there's been some questions on it, so I want to have a good explanation. So at this time, I'd like to ask Representative Barr if he would come forward, and do you have someone with you that's going? I have my librarian. All right, so that will be helping you present, so if y'all will take a seat there. And we're hearing today in your folders, members of the committee, House Bill 490, and I want to ask the representative before we start, is it true, did you vote for my 3 bills yesterday? How did you vote?
I voted yay.
On all 3?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'm just a good piece of information. I'm so glad. All right. So let's go ahead and hear this bill. All right. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This is my first bill, so I appreciate your patience with me. It came to my attention that the libraries needed some more funding, and I kindly listened for a few minutes, and then I said, well, sir, is there anything else I can do for you? And he brought to my attention the issue which we have today. As we all know, state health benefits plan changed earlier from a percentage to a flat fee, and that's where the issue comes in for the libraries. It kicks in at 17.5 hours at this point, and we're asking for parity with schools, with the differentiation in certified and non-certified employees. And so we're asking 2 things, that we create a certified librarian and a non-certified, which would include paraprofessionals, clerical, janitorial staff, etc. This would allow the libraries to pay a lower, more appropriate rate for health insurance for the lower paid staff members. And this would put us on a parallel model with school employees. The second change would change a threshold for health insurance from 30 hours a week to 30 hours a week, allowing the library staff to come under that parallel. I know there's been some discussion and some questions this morning, and I'll be happy to try to address those, but I think we have some other experts in the room that may be more beneficial for those questions.
Would you like to say anything, sir? And give us your name and who you are and where.
I'm Adrian Mixon. I'm the Public Library Director for Hall County Library System. And this is actually very critical. The 30-hour raise from 17.5 hours to 30 hours before you're eligible for benefits, in this case health benefits, would give us a lot more flexibility. It would allow us to work our employees who won't work more hours, because right now I can't work you if you're part-time more than 17. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pay you benefits, and benefits are right now have become very expensive for us.
So what you're saying, you could work someone up to 20, 25 hours and not have to do benefits. You're saying
that's right,
that you won't have to do benefits until they reach 30 hours. Okay.
That's right.
So that's allowing you to work part-time people longer and more without having the expense of a benefit.
Exactly.
Okay. So basically, this is a saving money by increasing the number of hours they can work before they're eligible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Very correct.
Okay. All right, I have a question. Number 3, state your name. I'm number 3. Where is that? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Representative Mike Dudgeon.
I see. I was looking down here. What's your name, Representative? All right, Representative Dudgeon.
Good to meet you.
My floor leader.
I've talked to the representative about this. My county library director in Forsyth County has some problems with the bill. They actually have 10 employees they prefer for right now to keep who work 20 hours a week. So this does not. This is when I guess is a mandate. Currently, there's a rule that 17.5. It's just a DCH rule, and this is now going to say they can't have that rule. It's 30 or less. So anybody with 20 would not be eligible. So So when would this, I don't see an effective date on here. When would it be effective? In other words, what about people who are currently covered? Do they go off? In other words, how would this phase in? Do we know that? Does council here know that?
Betsy, can you help us there?
Yeah.
You know when it would phase in? What's your number up there?
Yeah.
13.
All right, there you go.
The bill itself would become effective July 1 of this year. As far as phasing it in, they would have to abide by any contracts they have with their librarians, if they have, or any kind of policies, that kind of thing, to make that transition. So they'd have to honor any commitments they'd made prior to in making that transition.
Okay.
Okay. All right, any other questions, Representative? All right, on this order, number 27, all right?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based on Betsy's answer, would this grandfather in the people who are already there, or would they come off when it becomes effective? Someone who's working, 20 hours now and getting benefits, would they automatically come off, or would they be grandfathered in?
So if they're working 20 hours now,
Yeah.
they would not come under this. So they would be eligible for whatever other options they're providing them now, or want to continue, or if they change or whatever in the future. But they wouldn't be eligible for insurance under this provision.
Okay, so there would be no grandfathering.
Well, I don't know. I don't know really. It's not really a grandfathering issue. I mean, an employer can change their health benefits at any time. So it would be whatever they decided to give employees with less than 30 hours, whatever their policy was going forward. It's just that this would not apply to them, for sure. This would only apply to those with 30 hours or more. Is that?
In other words, if they were giving them benefits now, they could continue.
Right.
They wouldn't, but if they wanted to, they could stop and go up to this route, whatever they wanted to do locally.
Okay, so it would be the employer's choice whether or not they continue to do that if somebody felt like they needed to do it. But they would have to do it equally. They couldn't hire new people and not give them the benefit. There would be a discrimination thing there if they did that, right? Or would it be based on, it may be based on the contract, so it wouldn't matter?
Yeah, I think it's going to be whatever the commitments and contracts they've entered into with whatever employees they have now. So.
Okay, thank you.
Right. This order, 15.
No, 16.
16? Well, I had 15 too. So, all right, 16.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is really a follow-up question to the same line of questioning. If I could address it to Legislative Council.
Yes, you said, right.
First question is, are we sure that every part-time worker in a county library system is working under a contract that defines benefits?
No, I mean, they may, I don't know if they are or not, no. So it may not necessarily be by contract, but whatever commitments, like, as a state employee, you enroll, for a year. So say they've enrolled in a certain health plan. Yeah.
So they'd be able to keep it for a year, but at the end of that year, they actually would not be eligible to re-enroll based on this change in the law. Wouldn't that be correct?
No, not necessarily. They could enroll in whatever health benefit plan they wanted to offer those less than 30-hour employees, but the ones that, it would be a different plan. It wouldn't be the state plan, but they could still offer them some sort of insurance.
Okay. So, and maybe the author or his guest could answer this. Are the folks that work in the library system currently that are on benefits, are they only on benefit plans through the state, or does the library actually subscribe to some independent plan that you offer to your employees?
We only have two options. We're either off the state plan or we are providing state plan. You can't run split plans. I actually explored that last year. And to the best of my knowledge, that's the situation right now. You've got no choice in providing somebody a county plan and somebody else a state plan.
So would it be safe to assume that's likely the case in every county then, that they wouldn't be able to offer some people the state plan and other people some other separate plan?
I was told by DCH that's the case.
Okay, thank you.
Number 26.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, number 27. All right, so got that. So I have no more questions. Anyone else have a question? Any other comments? 20.
OSP. Yeah, I thought you was hitting. This is Howard Maxwell, District 17. All right, this is affecting public libraries. Right now, we got, if they work more than 17 and a half hours, in your shop, you're required to offer them health insurance. So what you're doing is working most of your part-timers less than 17 and a half hours. Is that correct?
We're doing not only that, but just to add, and you're probably going to find out that's probably in your home library as well, we're taking a lot of our full-time employees and reducing them to less than 17 and a half hours because healthcare is becoming so costly for us.
So most of these people are not covered under health care now.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to raise it up to 30 hours. If you work 30 hours or more, you're going to be eligible for the state health benefit plan, and you'll add a few people probably into the insurance plan then. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and my understanding, 30 hours is pretty much the norm throughout the industry as far as defining part-time work. Is that correct? And I think the Affordable Care Act that's coming in place also defines health insurance benefits eligibility at 30 hours.
I can't address that as far as affordable health, but I do know that for state workers, it's 30 hours. And
Okay.
I believe Atlanta Fulton Public School System is 30 hours.
Okay, I was thinking that was pretty much the norm for most. So what we're doing is just trying to put this in parity with the other places out here that offer health insurance for their employees. There was also a question came up about who is this going to affect, the boards of education, and I think, Mr. Chairman, we probably need a definition of the board.
Yeah, Betsy, could you address his question? Because we had some questions from the school people that they feel this may be the boards of education we're speaking with. What do you think, Betsy?
Yeah, and where this code section is, the term board means Board of Community Health.
Board of Community, so it's not Board of Education, all right. This appears to me, and I have three more questions. It appears to me that what you're trying to do, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you're concerned about the cost of health care, so you're not necessarily wanting to increase the insurance offered, but you want to get more work out of your people. So what you're saying is if I increase this to 30 hours, we can allow the people that are working now to work up 28, 29 hours, and we don't have to provide health insurance. It's a way of saving money. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's what it's all about. We want to get more work without having to pay for it. Benefits.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, exactly.
I mean, that's it. Is that in a nutshell?
And
it's not about offering insurance for people. That's cold, hard facts, but that's it. I mean, is that it?
Well, the thing is, if
You don't soften it for him,
Sure,
Representative.
absolutely. I mean, that's what everybody has talked to me about.
Yeah.
Said that it will give them a lot more continuity in their work.
No, a lot more hours to work.
Absolutely,
Yes,
but
sir.
in their library system, it makes it
Oh, yeah.
much simpler.
Oh, yeah, they put them in line with, but they don't plan to bring everybody over 30 and give them insurance. You'd like to work from 25 to 26, is my correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what I mean, I'm just trying to get the fact. Okay.
It's
no-
become a cruel world.
It has a cruel world. Number 24.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did not have the privilege of hearing subcommittee testimony, so I'm wondering what is the opinion of the librarians on this?
This bill is supported by Georgia Council of Public Libraries and ACCG. We've only heard one questionable librarian in the state.
So help me, because I'm not familiar with this organization. The council is made up of librarians or people who employ librarians?
Yes, ma'am. They're basically made up of library systems across the state of Georgia.
We're not talking about school libraries, not talking about schools either.
Not schools.
Not schools, these are public libraries.
Georgia
Okay.
Council is all public libraries.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
All right, number 21, Representative Dixon.
Yeah, I missed the first part of her question, because my question was going to be, how many of the regional libraries around the state have had input into this? I mean, it's fine if we're talking about affecting Fulton County.
Yeah, they've all seen it. They've all looked at it. We've only had one dissenting opinion with the 20 hours. They had a few employees that worked 20 hours, and that was questionable, which I think we have answered now.
Okay.
Okay, I have two more questions. Number 3 and then 26. Number 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did find another question in my notes. Does it affect people right now when they retire, they can continue to stay on the state health benefits plan? Isn't that right? The question was, what if somebody, does this affect retirement eligibility at all for your librarians? Do you know how that works? That was the other question I had in my notes.
I assume as long as you're eligible to participate in state health, after you retire, that's not going to impact that.
So if somebody worked 20 hours a week for 15 years and then next year they become ineligible, then I guess when they retire now, they won't be eligible because it'll be at the time of their retirement. So I'm just participating. And I'll remind everyone in this committee that all politics is local, and I have an unusual county with a lot of wealth, and they don't like this bill. So.
Okay. Number 26, that's
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Margaret
Representative
Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Thank
Representative
you.
Kaiser. I know, I'm just trying to say.
I have to be honest, I am so confused. It doesn't feel like a good bill to me now that we've had the conversation that we've had, but why if public libraries are supported by counties, I guess that's universal because I know in Fulton County they are, why is the state health benefit plan paying their insurance? Why are the counties not paying insurance for the employees? And I know, if I can just say, one of my concerns is obviously, Chairman, I don't think he meant to state it the way he did, but I remember when we were trying to get public charter school teachers into the state health benefit plan, the governor vetoed it. We eventually got it passed, but it was all due to actuarials. And is the state health benefit plan approving this change?
Are they here? State comment. Come to the and introduce yourself and. Well, I'm trying to get the mic. Just have the magic touch. You got that. Okay.
Morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm Jesse Wethington. I'm the Director of Legislative Affairs for the Department of Community Health. The DCH, which administers the SHBP, that doesn't have a position on this bill one way or the other. We'd be happy to answer any questions that the committee may have. It sounds like there may be some of those. The benefit plan is actually organized in a couple of different code sections. So the state employees plan, I think that is part of the intent of this bill, is actually codified in Title 45, while the two education plans, the teacher's plan where the librarians are currently offered coverage, is codified in Title 20, as is the school employees plan for what we call the non-certificated.
And this will be entitled what? This will be entitled what?
This is in Title 20.
20 with the teachers, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that where it should be?
That is where they currently have been offered insurance. I'd like to bring up my director of the state health benefit plan, Ms. Trudy Nason, so she could pretty much field any question that the committee would have on this.
Mr. Chairman, can I follow up?
Yes, go ahead.
So can you speak to the fact that these are county-run entities and the employees are actually employees of the county, and why the county's not paying state health benefits? Or, sorry, the health benefits, not state health benefits.
What it is today, state.
Well, but why the county's not paying the health benefits as opposed to the state?
Can you answer that?
I'm afraid we can't comment on the organizational history of how the libraries have been moved around in different administrative units of the government. They've been, how long have they been in the teacher's plan?
No, this one.
Over 20 years.
It's probably more like 50.
Are these libraries under the Board of Regents?
Yes, sir. They're administered by the Board of
Okay,
Regents.
Boots, let the gentleman behind you. Just stand there as a trio. Y'all be good.
Yes, sir. Lamar Veach, State Librarian with the Georgia Public Library Service. The Public Library Service is a unit of the Board of Regents.
That's what I thought.
But the public libraries themselves, both the county libraries like Fulton and Hall,
Right.
As well as the multi-county regional libraries, they're creatures of state law, but they are more like local entities. Most of them are not county departments, but most of these benefits that we're talking about are paid with, almost all of them are paid with local county funds that are provided by the by county government.
That's the employer contribution, right?
The employer contribution, exactly.
And the state still chumps in a big amount too, right?
For the professional librarians that are paid with state funds.
And if this group
just
came
like
in and
the
was
teachers.
qualified, the state would chump. That would still.
No.
That would not be.
No, they would still be paid with local funds collected from county governments, some city governments, as well as some school districts.
Like we're doing lunchroom workers, bus drivers, and custodians.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. This bill puts them on par and equitably with other public employees in those other agencies.
As we move on into passing more and more of the cost on into the local agencies for these, as they do in parapros, bus drivers, lunchroom workers, custodians, do you think the cities and counties are going to start saying the state is not doing what they should do?
Well, it's a delicate balance between state funds and local funds, but principally 80% of what supports public libraries in Georgia is local money.
Okay.
80% is local, but that varies from county to county and region to region, but on average 80% is local, about 17-18% is state money.
All right, I'll let Margaret have her last question, then I'm going to get 16 and 24. All right.
Mr. Chairman, forgive me. If this is, that the oversight of these libraries is provided by the Board of Regents, is that right?
The oversight of the state library agency, my agency, is provided by the Board of Regents, but these are independent, locally governed libraries with locally appointed board members. And they create their own rules and regulations under state law.
Chairman, I'll use myself as an example. I'm responsible to a local library board, not a commission, not a city. My salary actually is state salary, though. I'm a state paid position. Our public libraries across the state are different depending upon what part of the state you go to. There can be very wealthy communities like Forsyth, struggling like Hall, and we're getting our money from all sorts of sources. 80% of it comes local, though. They be city, county, schools. About 15% come from the state, and 5% literally comes from wherever I can get it.
You know, what I'm really concerned, I'm going to take these two questions quickly. What I'm really concerned about, something this complicated, this confusing, and it's dropped today, the last day. I mean, this is something that should have been dropped the first day. This is something we may have to wait and take over next year. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if we can get this the 30th day. I'm not sure how my committee feels, but I'm going to take these two questions. All right, we got 16, then 24.
I'll waive, Mr. Chairman.
Wait, all right, 24.
Based on your comments, Mr. Chairman, I can waive some of what I wanted to say, but I just have to say that, again, I'm confused about this. I don't understand why it's in Title 20. There's clearly some history that we don't understand. I don't know why it's in this committee. I just don't get it. And I still feel like I didn't get a clear answer about, because again, I don't know anything about libraries, and maybe, excuse my ignorance, but it seems to me that librarians would be here speaking, and I understand that we have a letter from an organization, and so if you are there, then we need to hear from you, because this is not making sense to me. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'm very uncomfortable with this legislation. I hope that we will, with all due respect to our colleague, just hold on to this, and so we could be a little bit more.
What I plan to do, I noticed the signers of the bill. You have Representative Casas, Higher Ed Vice Chair, Representative Rogers, Chair of the Higher Ed, Ramsey's on the Higher Ed, Maxwell, you're on this Education Committee, but I think what I'm going to do, because I just think I'd be doing an injustice to you, and I don't want to do anything to damage your bill. We still have some time. I'm going to talk with Chairman Rogers this morning and Chairman England in the budget, where we can talk with them, and I'll get with Christine, I saw her a few minutes ago, and get with her and with Betsy and look at this, and we still have time to try to do something by Monday. It may be Higher Ed or this committee. Does the committee members, if anybody objects to what I'm thinking about doing, please speak now, forever hold your peace. Everybody okay? And then I'll get with the author of the bill this morning with Chairman Rogers, and we'll deal with this. Is that okay? Representative Maxwell, you had a comment.
Well, I think we've got some librarians here also that are supporting this bill.
Yeah.
So
I know they support it. Let me tell you, I've gotten hundreds of emails supporting. I know you support it and want this, but my thing, I think we need to understand what we're doing, and I think we can move it Monday morning. If it's this committee, it'll be heard Monday morning. If it's Higher Ed, he'll determine when it's heard. And it's got to be moved to the committee if that's where we think it should. But if it shouldn't, we'll hear it again Monday morning. It'll be heard in this committee. And I'll let you know when. Okay? Or whenever, if we take in at 1 o'clock, it may be heard Monday afternoon. But we still have time to get it over 30th day. Okay. Is the committee members satisfied with that? Okay, if that case, anybody feel because you came want to say something, because we've got to get to the house. We're starting at 10 o'clock. Anybody in the librarian out there want to say something? 9, we got to go. Okay, we got 5 minutes. If you want to say something, follow me to the ropes, and we'll talk on the ropes. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.